Alright everybody, welcome back to some more Sercacraft. It is I, Xilestar, and today, oh my word, lots of stuff happened. Let me just do this for a second. There we go, okay. So, lots of stuff has happened since the last time you guys have seen me. It has been almost a month since I've recorded anything for a while, and I apologize for that, but I actually had a medical reason for doing so, yeah. So you could already probably see a few things already right off the bat, so I just wanted to sort of show off a few things as well that I have changed. So those little corner things over there, I've replaced them entirely with just barrels that were originally in the cockpit area that actually had stuff in them. Let's see if we can see any. Oh, you should have one at least. There we go. So yeah, so this one had this barrel that was in the cockpit area, and then that one also has a barrel that's filled. One of these barrels over here has the treasure maps and such, so that's fine. I also have some hanging signs around as well. These ones literally just tell you like the bridge. Yeah, since I can't really center it because these are like 4x4 doors, so you're gonna have to deal with the two signs. Now, I kind of like the hanging signs like that, but apparently there's a different version in which that it's like crisscross kind of thing. I didn't do that because I didn't know that that existed. And apparently, it's only happens on certain areas or certain blocks. So yeah, that didn't really happen. Let's see here. Oh, another thing is that I've actually changed this area a little bit. Yeah. So you have these little like giant tube things here, which are just extra storage. And I moved the Elytra booster over here. Makes sense. However, this Elytra booster is going to be changed. So this one's going to be going over to that one over there. The closet, I don't know how you want to kind of word this. That's all the way over there. And instead, this one's going to have more of a vanilla ash booster. So what I mean by that is that under normal vanilla standards, I think you can only go up to 3. So that's what this one will turn into is 3, and then the 10, which is this one, will be moved over to the opposite side. So just in case I want to go for the 10, I can do that. And yeah, let's go equip my stuff. I found them. Yeah, let's just go equip everything. Let's just go grab everything. And here's my rocket box. That's amazing. Let's just go equip my stuff. Ah, oh, man, amazing. I missed it. Anyway. Actually, no, we want that there. There we go. That looks pretty darn good. Yeah, I'll just put that there. All right. Oh, so I have a lot of things planned, but I wanted to mention a few things, and I want to go up here before we talk about most of the stuff that's going to be happening downstairs. And we will have to be going into spectator mode just to show off a few of the things, but hey, that's beside the point. For one, these are all empty, and these are all little vaults, of course. But these are all for community storage. So, like any items that, like I say, hey, if you want, let's say, a whole shulker's worth of golden carrots, they're here, kind of thing. That's what that's for. And of course, I changed the barrels here because I thought it was a bit too over the top to have storage here. So instead, I changed it to well, I originally changed it to the what do you call it? It's like the full log version of the nether blocks because you can orient them in different ways. But then I didn't like how they were oriented as much, so I changed it to the normal logs, and they look a lot better. Like they kind of look like different colored wires, which I kind of thought would be pretty cool. Is that like you can see them, you can see how this place is being powered and how much like you know that these lights are being powered up by it. There's a zombie? How? Where is it? I can hear it, but there shouldn't be zombies. Yeah, I don't know if this was shown last time, but I added some lightning rods around on each side. And mostly these are just for, well, for protection as well. But I think because we are all in barrier blocks, it doesn't actually work. I shouldn't be hearing a zombie in this. We're pretty well lit. Yeah, that's weird. Where is that coming from? Anyway, I'll look through it for spectator mode. Anyway, so over here is still going to be like the portal area. So as you can see, we still have the portal thing. I closed it, and over here is where the end portal is located. And yeah, so that's still there. I already have a few plans that I have for the villager area. I just need to know how many pods there are here. Are they the same? They are the same. Okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. It's 17, 34, 68. Okay, so I could put 68 villagers here. That is interesting. Okay. So what I was thinking was that on one side we would have sort of these like sort of hacked villagers. So there are some things in which you can change how villagers will sell items. So I was thinking that for one side, I don't really know which one right now, but for one side, it'll be dedicated towards these said villagers. So let's say like this one will sell you only enchant books that can only work for a pickaxe, or that can work on a pickaxe. So let's say Silk Touch is a pickaxe only uh, enchantment book. This guy this guy will sell it, and then this will be, let's say, sword. This will be shovel. This will be like, like it'll just go down the list until they're done, and then you can move over to like farming stuff, and then colored stuff and all that stuff, like all the way through this one to down there kind of thing. Same idea. They'll all be like sort of hacked trades. But what I'm going to do with the prices is that I'm going to make the villagers not have zombie prices, which means that it's not going to cost like one emerald and one book. It's going to cost you like a decent amount of emeralds and a book, because there's no way in which you can actually put a zombie there. Because if you look at it this way, this is the block here. So this is the block in which you have the little window, right? Yeah, so this is your little window. This is the open space in which the villager stays, and then this is the wall. So there's no real way you can actually put a zombie in there without it, well, killing the villager over and over, like turning the villager over and over again. So, yeah. Unless you, maybe I can try something. Maybe. I don't know. But it'll just cause too much lag, and I don't really feel like doing that. So, yeah, so that's the idea of the villagers. One side will have hacked ones, and another one will have legitimate ones. So, though, at the very least, though, like if you want to, let's say, zombify a villager, you can do that. That zombie's gonna bother me. I need to know where he is. So, yeah. Oh, that storage area just has a few of the. Actually, I should probably show it off. Which means we're going to need to go into spectator mode. Yay, spectator mode. But yeah, I spent a good number of days just finishing this area off. So we are going to, yeah. So this area has been changed very slightly. Yeah, we'll go creative mode for now. Just got to make sure to not wipe the inventory. So if you go over here, you'll see that a lot of the stuff that I would not want people to kind of know what I have, but would kind of like, would rather them to be secret or here. And I have, oh, I wonder what this is. Huh. I wonder what those are. Huh. I don't know what those are. Anyway, So this one has like all of the stuff that you would get in creative mode. In I think it's I don't think I updated it to 1.19. I think this is still like 1.18 or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, there's still that, and then I think this one all the way over here has like the invisible item frames and stuff like that. Yeah, and I think I moved all the stuff that was rich. Oh, I remember this. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember that. Those were from. Yeah, I remember that. Okay. So these two were from the one barrel that was here, and I wanted to put them away at a different time. But this one, yeah, I remember those. Okay. So there is a shulker. I don't think it's here. Wait, is it here? No, I think it's downstairs. Yeah, I think it's downstairs. That actually contains these items already. But because I wanted to move everything from 1.12 down here, we kind of needed to do that. Okay, I want to see if there's a way in which zombies can spawn in here. Is it up here? That's not possible, though. Like, we're so close to build limit that there's no way that they can spawn. And plus, there's no dark spaces in which that they can actually be. That's interesting. Okay. Anyway, let's go down here. Oh, yeah, we need spectator mode for this too. All right, so these two areas have been filled. This is filled with everything from Varacle, which is my base from 1.16, which I think is the very first Sercacraft videos that I actually do have. Unfortunately, I didn't start recording Sercacraft until 1.16. But we already had established stuff, and I'm just trying to see if I actually use these by chance. Because I don't remember. It's the other side, though, that I did. So the next session, we will be working on teleport signs that will actually teleport us to these areas. And then, of course, creating an opposite version that will teleport us out of these areas. So this is just random stuff. So this is from different, how do you call it? Different like adventure maps that I've played on. There's another one that I will get into later. And this is, oh yeah, this is just random heads and stuff. And that's another collection. And this is just this stuff. Oh, right, yeah. So this is like this, yeah. Okay. And then this is my TNT one. This is if we use that. What was it called? It was called Vein Miner. You can use that as a way of getting gold. And then here's more maps. I think I might have moved it from there to here. And here's my original Sercacraft sort of inventory of how I actually did things. I'm not joking. That's literally my original Sercacraft inventory in a nutshell. It was just some shulkers and that was it. So yeah, so this one also has those changes, except for I think there's nothing in this room at all. Oh no, there's a few things. Oh right, yeah, these were random things that were strewn about that I couldn't find a spot for. So I just said, threw them here. And I think I threw them like that, and I'm like, you know what, I could change these rooms. So I decided to do that. Now this was the most interesting one. So this is the alchemy area. So this is actually very, very much interesting. So out of all of these, uh, I could have a spot specifically for every potion ingredient you would need, except for one. Unless I want to move one of these and remove them, which is the redstone dust. If I want to remove the redstone dust, I could replace it with this. The Dragon's Breath box. Because apparently there's no spot for this. And before you guys suggest that, oh, these barrels look like they're not doing anything, these are supposed to contain this. These are supposed to be what you're supposed to, or no, wait. No, these are supposed to, you're only supposed to kind of grab these if these aren't fully grown. Mind you, these are fully grown, but I just haven't picked them up yet. But these are supposed to contain, like, you know, well, right now they're supposed to contain empty shulkers, but lo and behold, we haven't really got them. But here's all my nether warts, and as you can see, I have a few empty shulkers. That's weird. Oh, these ones are broken. Okay. That's cool. I love broken shulkers. Oh yeah, and here's the bat membrane, because I couldn't really get a spot for it to work. And then here's more nether wart. So pretty much what's supposed to happen is that if you're doing your potion ingredients, you're supposed to grab all of the, like, you're supposed to grab only from these crops first. If there is no crops, like, or they're just starting to grow, then you grab a shulker. That's kind of like how I want the system to be. And over here we have water bottles. Pretty much I have shulkers that are filled with empty water bottle ones. Except for these ones are actually kind of filled. And then over here, we have milk bucket. Apparently, I called this a milk bottle at first. I'm really don't understand how that happened, but anyway. So I filled this up with empty shulkers and got milk buckets. And here's my empty bottles one. This also has, I think, the empty bottles from the honey barrel that was in the sort of crawl space area. It has, I think, the full line pretty much, so like 9 slots pretty much of the empty bottles that were in there. And here's where I have all my blaze rods up top and then blaze powder on the bottom. Now, technically, it should be reversed. However, blaze rods are easier to store than blaze powders, so there's that too. I think I have something in here. Ah, yes, the awkward potions. I couldn't find a spot for them. And I'm going to use spectator for just a short time. In here, we have all of the poisons and potions and such. Apparently, these are the only potions for the most part. Like, that you can kind of create, which is kind of interesting because I thought that there was more potions. But I guess they're just different versions and just different strength levels, which is just weird. Because I kind of thought that there was going to be more, that like there was more. That's why I created an extra line for these versions. And then it's like, nope. It's like, huh, weird. So I might just move these ones over to here and put like the Turtle Master, or what are they called? It's not Turtle Master. It's called Turtle something, I think. It's under food and drinks. Oh no, it is Turtle Master. Okay. Oh, I also don't have Potion of Leaping in here. That's interesting. Okay. But anyway, yeah. So there's this. That anvil's for renaming stuff. All right. So up here, here's where we're gonna get into more of what is going to be planned into the future. So once we get a teleport sign in here, that's when we're gonna start planning around everything of where I want, or what I want here, what I want stuff done. So over here is where I have a lot of the old sort of potions in which that were sort of the building blocks to create the what's it called? What was the? Oh yeah, the Behemoth potion. And that and the other potions that were created by that sort of whole sort of fiasco is going to be implanted into here. Again, I'm not going to do it now because, well, we don't really need them now. So, yeah. Nothing was done in here. So I think we can head downstairs. Actually, we should head upstairs to then head downstairs. Because we showed everything over here, so let's go show everything off over here. So, oh, right, yeah. So something that's very interesting about this is that for some odd reason on a map, Arcanix looks very funky, and I'm trying to figure out why it looks like this. By the way, the left and the right exterior and technically mostly the interior, well, technically the exterior in this case, is identical. The left and the right are identical. So I have no idea why, according to this map, it tells me that the left-hand side is different from the right. But that doesn't make any sense. And if we look into here, is this the one that we're looking at right now? Yeah. So as you can see, though, like this map right here is like close to the final level. But this one was one that was is like fully done, and as you can see, it's like a little blip on the map, which is kind of weird. So I don't really know what's going on here, but it's a bit weird. It's a bit weird. These signs are just placeholders for now. Just because, like, at some point I might want to name this, like, the cafeteria kind of situation. So, I tried hanging signs. They don't really work as good because you can't make the hanging sign hang, like, close to here. So, like, I can't make it, like, hang from this very, like, corner edge here all the way down to this corner edge here. So, I have to use normal signs. So, I can't use hanging signs. And I don't want to have it hanging like above here because then you can hit your head and I don't really want that. It's kind of difficult for the bridge and technically for other areas for you to hit your head. But hey, no, for this you can definitely hit your head, so I didn't want to do that. So over here is where we have the kitchen stuff. I moved the... Nope, that's not it. I moved the bread boxes over here. And I moved the cooked cod and salmon from the crawl space area down over to here. And then over here is the little kitchen area. Not the most glamorous, I know, but hey, I mean, it's better than just me saying, "Oh yeah, it's a kitchen," and then it's just like it just has a bunch of furnaces on the wall. Yeah. And then over here is the bar area. I haven't changed this in any way, shape, or form, but it will have these 3 barrels. Well, technically 2. One of them apparently is a placeholder. So one of these has all of the music discs that I've ever collected. And this one has them all loose, so though you could just grab one and play it immediately. And then this one has blank shulkers of it, probably to help with the mirroring in the Rosaria base kind of thing. So over here has all the ones from 1.12, and I think they are organized based off of the music disc. And there's only 2 of them, like 2 of these. Now, I could just do them now, but I don't really feel like it, so yeah. I had planned to do that before I started recording, and I guess I forgot. It's been a rough couple days. So I'm not going to go around. I'm just going to go like this. Nothing in here. Nothing changed in here. Yeah, soon I'll have more banners. You could probably like already tell by the main area. So over here's the main map room. I finally changed it to empty map and put in a shulker. I was thinking of putting all the other maps, so like the buried treasure map, the ocean monument map, or whatever it is, and all that stuff. The woodland mansion map, and all the other maps over here on this side. But I decided against that because I didn't really think it would matter too much. Yeah, unfortunately, I wanted the cartography table like sort of like over here or somewhere in an area that made sense. Unfortunately, these don't switch orientation. So the best spot in which that it would actually kind of fit to put up a map is here in an area that looks so close to the edge. So yeah, let's just ignore that. Yeah, over here is nothing. This is just from the original map for the most part. Like this was supposed to be something from the original map, and I just never did anything. Oh, that's right, I did move it. Okay, so there's nothing over here, and this is where Lord Cube's shrine is, and then here's where the Lord Cube's book is. With that one mistake that I found that I don't remember if I actually fixed it or not. I'll have to rewatch the video to find out if I did. Anyway, let's head downstairs to this area, which is just, well, this. This is just like the workshop area, but unfortunately, like I didn't have time to go and actually like have it fully fleshed out kind of thing. I just wanted to put like, you know, like the fletching table in case they actually finally do something with this. The loom, the cartography table, a copy of it pretty much. And as you can see, the orientation, I would have loved to have the little globe thing over here, but eh. The cutting table. Stonecutter, sorry. I was trying to remember the name and I couldn't. And then the smithing table. And over here is just a basic furnace thing that you can load it if you want. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. Nothing really else there. But that does give me an idea of what I can do with one thing. Anyway, so over here is a little office. As you can see, something has have changed. So over here we have these loadable bookshelves in which you can actually load books. So if I really want to, let's say, load up this Sercacraft rulebook in here, I could. And I would get it back? Yes, I would. So hooray. So you could tell the person... Oh, right, those are other ones. Yeah. So you could tell the person, like, all right, there's a bookshelf right behind you. Just go pick up the rule book and then leave. And then this is the pathway to everything else. Okay. And if I remember correctly, this area is just the prison. This area hasn't been changed at all. Yes. Perfect. And there's nothing else, so we don't need to worry about it. Anyway, so this is the data center. I don't think this has anything different yet. I'm going to put banners. I'm going to make it look a lot better. But for right now, it doesn't really have anything. Like, even this area doesn't really have anything. It just has the placeholder for where you could put the maps and stuff. That's it. Over here is where I store all my... I thought I moved this. I guess I didn't. Oh, well. But yeah, but this is where, like, where I stash all my tools and all my arrows and such. So over here we have the... I think the 1.12 stuff, and then over here we have the ones from the, what's it called? The Rosaria base, like, upper area, so like the attic in a way, if you want to call it that. Over here is just more arrows, and over here is just more arrows. So yeah, a lot of stuff in here. And then this is just like every, I think, netherite gear, which, of course, didn't get translated over because... well, netherite doesn't really exist in 1.12. And here's all the diamond armor I think I have had. And here's all the diamond tools, I believe. And then, of course, each and every other version here is there. I don't think there's anything up here. Oh. I guess these are just surplus. Yeah, I think they're just surplus. And as you can see... yeah. As you can see, this area is now empty. Like, as you can see, like, it's spotless now. There is not a shred of a barrel that's, like, not attached to the wall right now on the floor here, other than this one, but that's beside the point. I was already aware of this. So, yeah, they're all put away. They're not, well, most of them are put away. Some of them are still on the floor kind of thing in the areas in which that they are supposed to, such as the music discs. Although the music discs are going to be into the bar area, so it makes more sense for it to be there. And these are just for me, vaulted barrels, so I could like control click and get the name, so I don't have to worry about anything. So I wanted to sort of get you to know my mind a little bit. So I originally had these two as barrels. And as I was changing this one from, I think it was birch to mangrove, and changing this one from none because this would interfere with the doors above, but hey, since they don't work in 1.20, might as well just do that anyway. So I changed this into acacia. Now, while I was doing this, I went back and tried to get a good look at it, and I'm like, the barrels are just not doing it because they're just too bland. So I decided to put like dispensers that I already named Vault over here and just did this. Now the cool thing is that how this system is going to work is that if you want to, let's say this wall from that barrel line to that barrel line and this barrel line to that barrel line will be like a store kind of thing. So like a more of a trade, if you will. An exchange. So let's say today I feel like putting a rotten flesh in here. So I'll put rotten flesh because that's what's going to be in this barrel. And then I would put shulkers of rotten flesh, of course. Now for now I'll put them in shulkers, but that doesn't mean like the shulker itself is also being sold or being exchanged. That would cost extra, of course, because shulkers are, mind you, there are farms, but these shulkers were never farmed in that capacity. They're farmed world by world, so there's a very finite view for it. And these are all my banners. These are just so though I could just run around in creative mode and put them down. So instead of we having the Pixelmon only ones, we can actually start having like, banners from this version and onward. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I originally had the idea for hanging signs instead, but then I didn't like the look of them. And then while I was putting down the hanging signs, I accidentally put one of them sideways instead. And then that sparked this. Now, would it look better if I put the signs on the item, like on the barrel / the dispenser itself? Yeah. But I think this makes it look better because then it makes you look at the object instead. And plus what you can do as well, and I think it makes it harder with the sign, but I think it makes it pop more. If you do it this way, I'm just going to use a glow item frame, why not? Is you could put an item frame right there. And then let's say I'm selling glow item frames here. Well, I could just do this. So that you can see the item and you go, okay, like, and let's say you're new to Minecraft and you don't know what that item is. So you go over here and you look at it and it goes glow item frame. It's like, oh, they glow. Like, that's pretty cool. Oh, man. That's not what I wanted. Even though I hit the item frame, apparently I hit the block as well. Anyway. Yeah. Anyway, nothing really too much else over here, except for these entrances got a little bit of a glow up. Welcome to Arcadix. Unfortunately, you can't stretch it out. So, literally, I could copy this sign and go, welcome to Arcadix all the way throughout, but I didn't want that. So, I chose the middle, and that sign also is the same. And there's one above there, too. You might have seen it, but I didn't really put too much attention to it. We'll get to back here in a second. We're going to go down here so I can explain something here. So yeah, you can already see that I didn't do something. So I found out why some of these pistons uh, were being activated, and that was because of a redstone lamp that needed to be powered by a redstone block. Because well, I like to use the blocks more than I like to use the torches. But unfortunately, what that actually ends up doing is that it made a signal to, I think it was these two, I think, or one of these, like one of the ones from this line and one of the ones from this line, to be activated, which is not what I wanted. So instead, what I did is I changed it to, I think it's shroom lights, and then just put a carpet on them. Now I also put a welcome to Organics here. Unfortunately, I couldn't put it on a slab, and getting rid of this slab and just putting it here didn't look good, so I opted for that block. But yeah, so next time we will be creating doors here. We'll do one section at a time, or we'll do one section. So let's say next time we'll open up this door, and then off screen the other door will be able to be opened, because all it really much is grab whatever coordinates you put on this sign and just reverse them. So if they're negative, put positive, and then you're good to go. So yeah. So also, these are also all of the farming stuff from the barrel. Yeah, I forgot about them later on. I literally forgot about these until I think it was last week. And then I was like, oh my god, I forgot about the farming stuff. So yeah, I forgot about the farming ones. My bad. But I have a plan. So that's the plan is to get those get all this stuff done. But I changed these redstone lamps into frog lights. I thought that would look cool. And of course, all of these farms are going to be changed. Well, the blocks are going to be changed. I'm going to change these into mud, because apparently mud is a much better block than dirt for certain things, and I want to try it. So, yeah. Yeah, so before we continue on over to the back, there is some other things as well. I think it's behind here. Yeah. So these secret storage areas, this one I think has nothing. But the other side's a different story. The other side has my wallet that I had in 1.16, and a beginner pack that everybody would be given when they start off. So I want to mention something real quick, because this happened and it was funny. When I built this, well, not really built, but when I designed the interior in 1.12, I designed it in a way that I would have so much storage that I wouldn't know what to do with it. This is only half of what happened. So while I was figuring out where all those random ones, like if I were to work around the barrel in which that contained my stuff, I apparently forgot about many different storage options. I'm not joking. I literally was like, "Oh my god, I don't know where to put this." And I was like, "Oh man, I don't think I have enough space for all this stuff." And then I completely forgot about the upper area entirely. I think I just remembered like last week I was like, "I forgot I had that area." But I also forgot that I had this area too, until later on when I had what was that? That's the 1.17 stuff. That's the beginner pack. That's another beginner pack. I think that's the tools from the upper area, and that's just more weapons and stuff like that. And if we go over here, oh, not those ones. Is it these ones? That's from the first world. And here's from my B business. Well, these three are from my B business. These are from the, or me trying to sort of not engineer, but like sort of spawn in a way to do it. And then something else I completely forgot, and we'll be able to go there zooming fast, is this area too. I completely forgot about this until after the fact. And the weird thing is that I spent so much time trying to design these areas, and yet I completely forgot about them. I tried to change the how you like not the how you enter, but like how this area is. So like you have to have like the trapdoor here and then the trapdoor here. It doesn't work, unfortunately. I tried. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave that open. Yeah, there's nothing on the opposite side either. These are going to be moved because I forgot about that upper furnace area. I was going to try and see if I could find a spot for it here, but I thought against it. So these are the natural fuel areas that were close to the furnace array, and these are all filled. Oh, they're not all filled. That's weird. I thought these were filled. Huh. Okay, well, they're supposed to be filled, or a lot of them are supposed to be filled with coal blocks. That's weird. Anyway, we'll go to the down here area, and then we'll lead down to the enchantment area before I go to the top area over here, and reveal some cool changes that I've done. So over here is where the enchanting area is supposed to be. So here's where you grab your lapis. You go down here, you go and go, okay, I want to enchant my diamond pick, and then you put it in there. However, I also have my bottle of enchantings from the older worlds, and I have my XP bottles from the what do you call it? The Rosaria base, which this was all obtained in 1.17 from the use of, I think it was a gold farm. Not 100% sure. Or majority of it was gained from that. And here's the enchanting boxes from before, from Rosaria base, and then these are all the lapis blocks that were from the other, from the 1.12. So I have to find out where to, or I gotta change all those to a different color, and the name, of course. And then down here, I think it's in here. Yeah, is where all those random armor enchantments, tools and weapons, and then the shared enchantments. So pretty much it's like something that has like something that you can put on a tool or an armor piece. That's what these are. They're mostly just for the enchantment books that you create yourself. And then I think, oh, it could be mixed enchantments. I'm not quite sure. Oh no, I think shared is shared between the two of them. So like mending and unbreaking and stuff. And I think down here, I think has more, I think. Yeah, I think these are the same thing. I think those are from my original worlds. Yeah, okay. So I got to do a little bit of work on this little corner, but most of it is like pretty much done. And up here, uh, pretty much only a very few things changed. So I had the idea of creating these lava cauldrons because I thought that they would be a pretty cool addition to the area. So my idea was to see if this would actually work. Because when I tested this before, it didn't. So I had to like, I had kept lowering the thing and then it would eventually work and then I didn't like it. And then now it suddenly works, so. I don't care if the distance makes it like take longer. This is just so that way though, like, you can use lava buckets as fuel in case, like just in case. But mostly you're going to be using the coal that's like, you know, down there. And now we get to the bread and the butter of the area. Yeah. This storage room. Oh my word. So this area has seen, as you can see, a lot of changes because I just put anvils down. Yeah, so like there's still a lot of work that, or not a lot, but some work that needs to be done. This is empty. But yeah, so like this stuff is going to be filled with shulkers that have contained of these items. Just like banner patterns only have like one of each because I only ever needed to collect one, I think, and that was it. And then same thing with filled buckets. I only filled one, and that's it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like all of this stuff I need to fix around and stuff like that. So yeah, but the one reason why we're here, or the one thing that I want to mention is that I wanted to sort of change this materials area before we started to get in topic of why these barrels are still here. I wanted to do something cool with the material area. So like these would be, so how these sections are sort of divided up is that from this line right here all the way down to this line is technically an area. So you have a 2x2 area, and then you have three 3x2 areas on one side. So the other side is identical, pretty much. Now the difference is that what I wanted to do with this is that I wanted to separate it from natural materials, or materials that you have to sort of manufacture or something like that. So like sticks, tripwire hooks, like that kind of deal. And mob materials or natural materials. So something like these prismarine stuff. But the problem that arose in my head is, okay, so if I were to do that, it would cause two problems. One is that depending on where I position everything, some items are going to be harder to like sort of like quickly grab. So let's say this is the natural materials and that's the mob materials. So let's say I need ender pearls, but I decide that they're more of a rarish version. So that means that from the, so let's say we'll put it towards the middle section, so sort of like over here, let's say, but opposite, of course. So that means that we would have to go down the stairs. So let's just go down these stairs. We need ender pearls. So that means, well, we don't have to jump over. We need to go over here, and we need to go to ender pearls. Wow. That's ender pearls. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to make it, like, harder for me to be able to, like, you know, quickly grab items, right? I just want it to be sorted so that way, though, like, it makes sense. And here's where color and flora. This isn't fully complete. It's mostly complete. You'll know by the banners, yeah, and the carpet, yep, and the beds, and all of this other stuff, too. Yeah. They're still in that chest because of the fact that dispensers only hold 9 objects, and there are 17 of them. So you can't really do it. But yeah, so here's where the nether is. Here's where the natural terrain is. Here's where building blocks are. Here's where redstone is. And here's a blank one. This entire aisle, I'm going to call them, is blank. So I can put anything I really want here. And then there's decorations. Here's another blank aisle, but it's a smaller one. Here's where wood goes. I started to add, I think it's mangrove. Yeah. Because we do have these. They're just not named as appropriate as these ones. And I still need to do some work, apparently. Which is okay. And then there's color and flora. So let's go and talk about this area before I talk about these barrels. Up here, nothing's changed. Down here, on the other hand, has changed. So if you remember, I gotta go back to an old version and find out if I actually did put anything there. But all of this is in Rosaria Base's main storage area. What I mean by that, well, next to the alchemy area is technically was the main storage area. It was always the main storage area since Revacraft. So, if you don't know what Revacraft is, Revacraft was technically technically the third version, technically, but the first version of Rosaria Base. It was the sort of the building block that created Rosaria Base. It was pretty much the main construction, and then it changed into Reva Base, which then ended up changing Revacraft to Razacraft after that. And then after that, I created Razacraft, and then after I created Razacraft, we then created even more shenanigans with that. So this has everything from there. I felt like I didn't want to move them to here and do that because not only because for sentimental reasons and also for extreme laziness, but because trying to find a spot for each and every one of these items, like literally, well, mind you, those two would actually go to the kitchen area. Like finding an area in which that all of these items would have a spot in is crazy. So I decided to just do it this way. So it goes all the way up to here. As you can see, like it goes all the way up to this very block area. And here's all the enchantments. And here's all this stuff. I did all this by hand, by the way. I moved all these barrels by hand. I went all the way up. Mind you, I use creative mode, but these are supposed to be for scaffolding. I just haven't really put them in yet. And I moved them over to here. It was nuts. Technically, I moved the barrels into here. And now here's where we get to the fun part. Oh, I don't have it. That's right. So, I talked about this a little bit during Pokemon Crystal, but I'm going to talk about it again, just in case people are not aware of Pokemon Crystal being a series or whatever. I didn't stash. Don't know why I was going to begin with stash. I put down some barrels here that we could do in survival. Now, since like 90% of it was done off screen, I felt like I needed to do at least some of it on screen. Just so that way, though, it's like, oh, he just did it all off screen because he cheated and he just gave himself all the items. It's like, no, I didn't do that. Like, I definitely didn't do that. All I did is I moved everything from up there down to the section. I first moved them all to the sections in which that they were going to go to. And then from there, I sorted everything out from that. So down here was definitely the most out of all of them because literally I filled this entire line, and technically I would have filled this entire line of items, and I was like, oh my word, I'm gonna be here for. No, I filled this entire line of items, and I think it wrapped around a little bit. And then I think I found an extra few barrels after that, and I threw them over here, which was only like a little bit, like maybe halfway. And then that was it. And then these ones, of course, got moved over here. So again, all these are loose items in which that I've collected in any world, pretty much. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna grab everything, and that also includes what we found during this world too. As you can see, we have the smithing template there. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to try and shift-click everything. Seeing if we can pick up anything. And we're not going to put them in shulkers unless that area actually has shulkers. Oh, I didn't realize I had a mud box. I didn't know I had a mud box. That's weird. Anyway. And the thing is that anything that needs to go out, so like the food, for instance, we're not gonna leave this area and go all the way to the kitchen, because that would just be very, very silly. What we're going to do is we're going to go and sort of, stash it away close to the entrance. Usually, I would have created a chest specifically for this, but I didn't create a chest for this. And as you can see, there's some shulkered items. Like these ones are obsidian and crying obsidian, of course. And this is just all that stuff too. Yeah. All right, so since these are all okay, so let's store all the food for now. Oh, I forgot to change that. I forgot to change that one's name. I am such a silly guy. All right. We'll change. We'll move the food in here for now. That's the food that I had. I'm trying to see if there's any food that I'm just not seeing. Doesn't look like it. Okay, so coal needs to go like up there pretty much. So that's beside the point. Okay, so let's see here. So, right. I wanted to remind myself. I'm just glad I reminded myself of this. I wanted to put the ores in here too. So like the ingots and stuff. So like have a little section for like iron, diamonds, and netherite and stuff like that. Because I feel like this area should technically have some of that. So the fact that it doesn't have that is very suspicious. But yeah, I wanted to kind of do that. But for now, I'm gonna stash. I'm gonna stash this stuff in here for now, since it's close to where I would originally have put them. I'm not joking. This literally has all of this stuff. So yeah. Oh, I found raw pork chops. I found raw pork chops in my inventory. All right. So I think tools as well are going somewhere else. Going to a separate section. I forgot to put that away. Oh, I forgot to put this stuff away. No! Alright. Lapis Lazuli is going upstairs to the enchanting area. Makes sense. I'm going to the wrong area. Actually, why don't I just put this stuff in here? Oh, seriously? Oh. I don't know where that stuff came from. I'm finding new stuff that I have to go do. Redstone dust is down here? I was gonna say, no it isn't, but it is. Okay. Hooray. So, this has to go up to the alchemy area. And I think that's it. Because this has a spot, this has a spot, this has a spot, these have a spot. This technically has a spot. I don't think nuggets have a spot anywhere in here. I think they have a spot up here, though. It should be on this side. Yep. I'm going to have to change the color of that to yellow, but yeah, they have a spot here. Okay. And then I don't have a spot for you, but I know where I'm going to stash you, though. Okay. So that's good. So let's go put... so let's go grab more stuff. I'm going to wait until my entire inventory is filled with, like, junk or whatever, that I can't put any stuff in there. Okay. Let's see. What are going to different spots? What's done? Pickaxes. That technically has a spot. This does not. These are food, so they can go here. I might need another barrel. I might need to use another barrel. Oh, hay bale. Okay, so I can quickly get that out of here. Is there any other hay bales? No. I'm gonna quickly toss the bread in here, though. Which is amazing. Also, I found this out after the fact, but I actually did a little bit of research on the archaeology stuff, and apparently, the music disc is supposedly rare. So, yeah. Not to mention that we got two of them apparently. I think I saw another one. Were my eyes playing tricks on me, or did I not get two? Or did I mistaken? I might have mistaken a pig step one for it. Yeah, I don't think I got another one. I think it was pig step. I think I saw pig step and I thought, oh, I got a second one. That's weird. But yeah. So we'll put the music disc in here. This also doesn't have a spot, and I don't know if you can turn it into dye yet. So that spruce planks has a spot here. Empty buckets have a spot here. Wheat technically, I don't think has a spot here, so I'll put that in there for now. Pointy dripstone also doesn't have a spot here, but it doesn't have a spot anywhere. So I gotta go figure that out. And then flint, I think I have too much of it, right? Where's flint? Wait, where's flint? Is it on this side? Oh, hello, flint? Ah, flint. Yeah, I got way too much. So that could go to the upper area then, if I really want to. But then again, I might be expanding flint, so it's much more of a bigger area, so I might not be doing that. Yeah, I think everything else has its own spot for the most part. In in a different area, emerald is here. Hooray! And I'm just gonna put the iron axe in here. And then everything else has a spot here. Mind you, the cherry tree doesn't really have a box, has a barrel for itself yet, but it will. It will have a barrel to itself. Oh, I forgot to show where I put the totems. Yeah. Okay. Well, I know this will have a spot. I just need to figure it out. And I don't want to grab that stuff just yet, so we're gonna grab. Well, I might as well put mud somewhere for now. All right. So since now we are completely filled with whatever junk that needs to go somewhere, let's go. So smithing templates, I do not have shulkers pre-placed for them, so they're just going to be tossed in. Same thing with the pottery sherds; they're just going to be put in as is until I get it. Yeah, they're just going to be put there. Same thing with goat horns. Goat horns I have screaming and non-screaming. So yeah. Let's see here. I gotta find. Oh yeah, I gotta go put mud somewhere. So because mud, you can technically consider it as a building block, but because you can find it in nature as like dirt and grass and stuff like that, I consider it natural terrain. So do I have mud somewhere over here? No. Okay, so I don't have it anywhere else. Okay, so let's go put it above here. So we'll call this one mud. Oh, never mind. I apparently put moss carpets in there. Oh, right, right. Yeah, moss needed a spot too. So I guess I could put it above mangrove. I mean, it makes sense for it to be there anyway. Since I think mangrove grows in swamps. So or mud is the terrain for it, so I guess that makes sense. These are the color stuff. Bed. There you go. I'm gonna deal with that whenever I get a chance. Let's see here. Torches are over here, but I don't think I have a soul torch area though. Yeah, I don't think I do. Oh right. Before I forget, you're not supposed to be in here. Let me just go quickly go do that. Whee. There you go. All right. You are supposed to be stashed in here, like you were supposed to have been. Is my audio like really, or is it just the way that it's like directed? Because I barely heard my character eating, which is weird. Anyway, yeah. So let's just go to. Is this what I think it is? Oh, I forgot to name this. Wait. It deleted my blanks. You're joking. Oh, it deleted my blanks of it. Why would you do that, game? That means I have to do that all over again. I had blanks from here to here, like I do with all the other ones. Like if I were to go to, well, Obsidian's a bad choice. But like what I do with Netherrack. Nope, not Netherrack. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, the reason why Netherrack's in there instead of like all of the natural blocks from the Nether is not in here is because the Nether needs its own spot. So it's like that. Where is the one that would be best? Ah, as you can see, like these are got blanks. That's kind of what this one was supposed to have too, but apparently the game decided to. Oh right, we had that crash. Oh my word! It was when I tried to move the bee stuff. It must have removed them. It must have like reverted it to a previous state, and I forgot that it did that. Oh my word! Is that ever the worst thing to ever see when you get back into a game? All your progress got reset. Oh my word, that sucks. I'm just gonna put the obsidian in the obsidian one for now. I'm just gonna put it there for now. Gilded Blackstone? I might as well keep this one out. Actually, I might as well just grab all the Gilded Blackstone now. Actually, I'll grab the mud too. I'm just gonna do this. Just so it's easier to grab. That's cool and interesting. I don't know why it's like that. Anyway. Yeah, okay. So Gilded Blackstone's done now. That's perfect. And again, the reason why that it's in the Nether is because you can only obtain this in the Nether. Oh, the reason why they're not named is because of the same thing too. It reverted it back to a previous state. Oh, that sucks. That's something you never want to see in your Minecraft world, is that it gets reset because of like something just decides to break. You know what? I'm gonna go use that iron axe and break these empty ones, so I could stop looking in them. I'm just gonna stash the barrels in here for now. I mean, we can keep that stuff in there for now. Actually, we should start putting everything else away. So while I'm talking about this, or while I am putting stuff away, I wanted to talk about something else. So if you have been watching my Oblivion mod playthrough, if not, you can kind of ignore this if you want. But I wanted to mention something as well. So I've been working on my mod a lot. I've gotten a lot of stuff done specifically for it. So that's great news. Is that like we're getting a lot of new cool stuff happening for it. Ignore me while I am trying to. Oh yeah, by the way, this is how I throw stuff away. Is that I organize it by running around and I won't do things like by section. I'll literally just start running around. So yeah, be prepared for that. But back to the topic at hand. I wanted to just say though that like I been working a lot and I wanted to test something, so I decided to throw my hat into the ring pretty much and attempt to try it. Well, technically I didn't fail. It's just that it didn't work the way that I wanted it to, so I stopped. So instead, what I decided to do is that I decided to, well, not complete it. But I wanted to keep at least some of the aspects of the attempt still present in the current version. What do I mean by this? Well, I I wanted to try and incorporate a Anvil Castle into my mod. So one that came that but not just any Anvil Castle. One that came from a mod called Open Cities. Now you can't get Open Cities anymore. Unfortunately, apparently it's not on the Nexus anymore. And I tried looking everywhere for it and I had to find a different version of it, but it still functioned relatively the same. Like it still does everything that it's supposed to, but it's not like it's not called Open Cities, it's called something else. And I was a bit angry that the fact that I couldn't find it, but I'm just glad though that I was able to have a version of it at least. So the version that I have is not called Open Cities. It's called Open Cities Reborn or Redux or something. I'm not quite sure. I'd have to take a look at it. But it does pretty much the same thing, except for apparently it does a little bit of extra things. I'm not 100% sure. Oops. And what I was trying to do is I was trying to get it to work with my mod. So one of the things was that I was going to sort of cheat it out, but in the way that I'm talking about is that I was going to use the island that I already created for the lodge, and I was just going to change the size of it to sort of fit the area in which that I need it to go to for the castle to make it work. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. And one of the things that it ended up doing, as unfortunate as it was that it didn't work the way that I wanted it to. Instead of changing the size and the position of the blocks to fit that new, well, the new size, all it pretty much did was that it changed the size but didn't change its position, it stayed the same. So pretty much it's the same island, just bigger, pretty much. So I was like, oh man, it's not going to work the way that I wanted it to. That's not a good sign. So instead, I have to redesign the entire island to fit the castle. Now, the castle is going to have two cool areas. It was going to have the Dunbarrow Cave and the... As soon as my brain catches up here. Oh, I could have deleted that. Okay, whatever. It was going to have the Dunbarrow Cave and the Vile Lair DLCs attached to it. Now, Dunbarrow Cave is already technically attached to it, in a way. Mind you, you have to have the DLC installed in order for it to be technically a part of it, but hey. That's just how that is. But what I'm talking about is that I would have it attached but in a different location, and that it would have been standalone, so that would, though, like, you don't need the Dunbarrow Cave DLC to work, it would just work automatically. Now, of course, there's a difference in the version that I wanted to create, and that is that my version wouldn't have NPCs. So the NPCs would have been removed. Now, unfortunately, while I still technically have the project, I've sort of lost interest now in continuing it. As unfortunate as it is, I lost interest. So again, while I still have the world, it's still present. I still have the mod. I still have it. I've just lost interest into continuing it. The only thing is that, like, because I've lost interest into continuing to build said area, I don't want to continue doing it anymore. And because of that reason as well, I sort of have abandoned it. Well, abandoned, like, continuing to do it. Not abandoned as in, like, I've deleted it and we're never going to have it again. No. But what I want to do for my mod as well is I want to sort of create sort of a memory or a memorial for my attempt at doing it. Now, again, if this does as bad as it was for Stalwar's Manor, as well as for the island, that means that I'm going to have to move all of what makes the Anvil Castle into position. Which means I'm going to have to do it all by hand. But the difference is that this time it'll be much easier to kind of do because, well, it's going to be easier. Well, it's going to be easier in a different way because instead we're not going to have the castle's interior. As of now. I don't know if I want to maybe throw it in there later on in the development, but right now that's not the plan. The plan right now is to just get it out, get it done. But I want to maintain the Vile Lair and the Dunbarrow Cave part, because I think that was an amazing idea to use those in terms of my mod. Now, this definitely makes it so that I cannot distribute my mod at all. So, which means that if you're expecting a copy of my mod to be on the Nexus, this will definitely kill that. So So I wanted to mention that before anything else. The only thing that I want to do, and unfortunately this will also mean that I have to keep the version of what I currently have because of, well, of what I have, of course, or what I'm going to be putting in. Oh, wait, I found more coal. There we go. Is because, like, right now I can technically change a lot of the textures and the meshes of each and every item into a vanilla version of that item. So let's say, like, my Dark King's armor, I can change that into like a Daedric armor, so it still has the same representation as, like, you know, in like a high level equipment. But the only problem is that, sorry, the only problem with that is that, like, I'm gonna have to go through my entire mod again, grab those vanilla resources and throw them in there. And that's what that means. Yeah, what does it say? What? That's weird. I thought we had bones. Anyway. Okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna grab these. Maybe these are different for some odd reason. Anyway. So yeah, so I wanted to use them in their own way. Now, unfortunately, there is no lore reason as to why these are going to be there. Now, technically, I can have an explanation for the Dunbarrow Cave. However, the lair doesn't make any sense. And allow me to explain why I say it this way, too. So for Dunbarrow Cave, or not, for Dunbarrow Cave is much easier to explain than the lair. The lair's reason why it doesn't fit the profile is because of what it's supposed to be for, like the DLC, the game, or however you want to kind of word it as. Because the explanation that we are given for it is that it's supposed to be for an evil character. The reason why that this becomes a problem is because Drathis isn't evil. The Dark King, well, the current incarnation of the Dark King, isn't evil. He's a good boy. He's just using evil powers to do it. That's all it is. Because pretty much the mentality that Drathis has in this case is fight fire with fire. Use evil to defeat evil. Is he smart for doing that? You could say no. But again, that's exactly what he's doing. He's fighting evil with evil, which would make sense for him to use the Dark King's, which is why he would create the, well, somebody else technically created the Forge for him. And we've already technically seen him in a game. Because I named a character, I named my character in Diablo 3 that character. But we didn't technically see him in terms of anything else. And I kind of want to just still keep the name as much as I can hidden, but it's not going to happen. But again, yeah, so the lair has little to no reason for being there. Now, while I was preoccupied with something else, I came up with an idea that made sense due to the story, in which for Drathis and for the heart itself as well. So it has been established. Well, I say established, but you guys may not be aware that there was a power in which that Drathis had to absorb, which is the embodiment of complete evil. And his power's name was called the Eternal Darkness, which is why that there is a spell tome called that in the mod now, because it became the new headcanon pretty much. Anyway, now while Drathis technically like absorbed this power, uh, you could say that because it was the embodiment of evil, and because Drathis was a good guy, it wanted to have a space of its own. So instead, it created the it created the oh, that's weird. I don't have a spot specifically for for crying obsidian. Well, that's fine. I can put it there then. But yeah, so back on topic. So back on topic to this. So the eternal darkness would have created a small pocket for itself, which it would have done. So you could say that the vile layer was that pocket. Now the reason why Drathis never knew about it was because the heart never informed him of it, because it wasn't really something that he should be aware in a way. So it wouldn't have informed him of it. But another reason is because the place was always incomplete. The eternal darkness was always 90% like complete. So while it created the layer all nice and shiny kind of thing, it forgot to put the door to go in. So pretty much nobody could go in it. And while that could be one of the headcanons that could be there, another one is that the evil Dark King, the one who originally created the heart, Archimus, uh, originally created the lair specifically for him to inhabit, while he was waiting for himself to have more than enough energy and more than enough power to escape from the heart itself, so that he can go and wreak havoc on the world. This one's very, very loose though. Like it's a very loose thread. And I don't like that. That it's so loose that it doesn't, it's not that it doesn't make any sense, it's that it just doesn't feel like that's exactly what would have happened. So I don't like it nearly as much, but it can fit. It's just not the way that I want it to. It's just not the system that I wanted, if that makes sense. And the other thing as well is a combination of the two. So Archimus was first created the lair, and then the Eternal Darkness sort of upgraded it. But again, because Archimus was more of a spirit, and so technically is the Eternal Darkness, they both forgot to put a door. Again, this is not the way that I want it, but again, same thing. And the way that this power would be complete with the help of a ring. What's the name of the said ring? Well, you're going to find out when I actually update my mod, which will hopefully be soon. Right now, I'm just doing bug fixes and any name changes if there need to be. But again, if it all goes according to plan, you will see it very soon, actually, since it is planned. Okay, I'm gonna put these in here for now because Blackstone I think has like no, it's Deep Slate has too many variants. Yeah, I don't really care about Blackstone right now. As sad as it is, I don't really care about it. But yeah, so technically, Drathis did actually get it. Like the Dark King did get an upgrade in this new version. However, it's player based, and a lot of the planned features that I had beforehand will be added. and each and every area will be unique in a way to what I believe that each and every area should be. So what I was thinking though was that for the Dumbarrow Cave, or as I'm gonna nickname it, the hideout, is going to be where you would stash your valuables. So like your gold, your very enchanted artifacts that you don't want anybody to touch, kind of area, or for testing items that I created specifically just so I could test around a few features. But I necessarily don't want people to kind of find them in a way. And the lair, or the Vile Lair, or Deep Scorn Hollow, or as I'm going to nickname it, the Lair, uh, that in particular is going to be for anything that is morally compromising. So, like something that could give you cheats kind of situation, or something that can affect the moral character of a person, pretty much. So, something that can manipulate your fame or infamy, kind of thing. Not in the way of the orb that allows you to change whatever's lower, your infamy or fame, to your higher, the the other one, pretty much. So if you have let's say 50 fame and 10 infamy, after a day your fame will go to 51 and your infamy will go down to 9. That's what that orb does. But it takes 24 hours each and every time. Same idea. Well, this one's going to be different, where it's going to be like a tablet that'll allow you to sort of manipulate it in a way. And one of the actually like cool systems that I wanted to build in place for the Dark King was a separate infamy and fame and bounty system specifically for the Dark King towards the player itself. So if you've ever actually finished the Thieves Guild, mind you, there's a ton of videos of people actually going through the Thieves Guild, so very unlikely that you would not have heard of this item, but there's an item called the Grey Cowl of Nocturnal. How this item script works is that when you equip it, your bounty is changed to 500, and your infamy is changed to 100. But your fame and your original infamy are completely gone. Now, they're not gone technically forever. They're just gone temporarily, I believe. I haven't looked at the script. The only difference for mine is that you're going to be able to manipulate the fame and the infamy of both of them, of whichever one that you're currently in. So if you're currently wearing, let's say, like if you currently conjured the armor, you're going to be manipulating the Dark King's fame. But if you're not wearing the armor, you're manipulating your character's fame. So it's much different. And how I was going to do this was that I was going to make the orb called the Influence Orb be able to deal with all of this shenanigans. However, that idea got scrapped because of how certain items, like certain things, so I decided against that. So instead I'm going to add it to Conjure and Revert Thy Form. So Conjure's going to change you from your fame and infamy to the Dark King's fame and infamy. And bounty, technically. And how the Revert Thy Form is going to work is that it's going to convert the Dark King's fame and infamy back to your fame and infamy. And that's how that system's going to work. Which I think would be a very cool system. But this would also cause a few issues with our playthrough. If you don't know what I'm talking about, allow me to explain. I'm going to find a spot for this stuff later. Actually, I thought we'd actually get all this done before the end of the session, but I guess not. My bad. So, again, allow me to explain why this would cause issues for our character. So, if you are not fully aware, allow me to explain. So, our character in the Oblivion modded playthrough has been playing with the armor the entire time without this fame and infamy system pre-placed. So if after that fact, I would have to go through either the entire series, video by video, in order to figure out what quests we've done with the armor equipped and without the armor equipped, in order for both the Dark King and our player to have the accurate fame and infamy count that it should technically have. However, this causes an issue. For me mostly. I have to go through, how many videos technically do I have? I think I have like 324 videos. That means I have to sit through all of that footage. Yeah, 324. At the time of this recording, I think, oops, my bad. At the time of this recording, I think only 322 went up. That means I have to sift through all of those videos, find out what each and every quest gives at any stage, and do that for each individual. So if we're wearing the Dark King's armor and let's say a quest gives you 10 fame, that means the Dark King gets 10 fame and our character loses 10 fame. So what I'm thinking for it is that I'll just make both of them equal at some point, but then still keep the thing there. Now, there is an item that is geared towards fame that I have. However, it's already been technically future-proofed for this change in a way, so it works. Because of how the system is going to work, it's going to change your character's infamy and fame to what technically it should be for each individual character. But there is a weapon that only works if the Dark King's infamy, or fame, sorry, is at 100. So guess what that means? It's already been future-proofed because it takes what your player's current infamy or current fame is, or technically it takes both, and then it subtracts the fame or the infamy from the fame, and then it figures out if you're worthy. You have to have pretty much 100 fame over your infamy in order to wear the sword. Or pretty much to equip the sword. Anyway. So pretty much, if you think about it that way, this sword has already been future-proofed. Because if you try to equip the sword while you're not the Dark King, it'll tell you that you are not the Dark King, you cannot hold it. So, it's already been future-proofed already. The only problem is that, like, right now for a modded playthrough character, it doesn't work that way. And because a lot of the characters that I have currently are already using the older version, I don't know how well that's going to translate towards the current version that, like, all the characters are using. I think it's over here, right? But yeah, so that's pretty much what I got to work on. I'll pretty much finish all of this stuff off screen. I'm sorry, I thought that this was going to be done like this was going to be done in like a half an hour, because usually I'm quite fast at doing this. But I guess talking about Oblivion, well, mainly it's all tools, so I guess I could be excused for that. Since they were all mostly tools, and these were all technically not separated in any way, shape, or form. So, yeah. And plus, these also need to be empty, too. These red ones. And this purple one. All this stuff needs to be emptied. And this just needs a spot. And all these need to go to that book area. But yeah. So that's going to be it for now. I apologize for the fact that we took so long into doing this. However, I wanted to show off that there was a lot of changes happening to this area. And not to mention, though, that, like, you know, like, there's still things in the pipework that are being done. So, yeah, so I'll see you guys next time for some more Sercacraft.